What's that? Oh, you had yourself as the bigger person on your screen.
I did, and I was like, man, this is kind of weird. I like
Yeah,
how you have your like a little award shelf, and is that a Old Spice
yeah,
deodorant?
yeah. It
You're like,
was in
this is
my
the
bag
MVP
from.
of fucking men's hygiene. Hey, did you leave your chloroforms at my house?
I think I did. Yeah,
Okay, they're on the stairs, so
that's fine.
as long as you don't need them for whatever you're doing.
What am I gonna be doing? Like, I start clearing tomorrow, man.
I didn't know if
Yeah.
you need to be in like your uniform one last time, and they're like, all right, let's get a little picture of you.
No, I'm never gonna. Yeah, no, 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 no. Welcome everybody back to the MattCast, 32. I am Matty Light, joined by Matty Heavy.
Bad. Okay.
Um, Make sure follow, whatever the fuck, subscribe down below, whatever. Um, the Bonzo Boys, which is Matty Heavy's other podcast, just released an episode for the first time this year.
Look at you. Look at you. You're on
I
top of
already
it.
I already listened to it.
Was it good?
Yeah, I
Did
liked it. I
okay.
liked
I felt like
your
we were just rambling.
I liked your stepping around the F slur the whole time in the beginning part.
Was it FA?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How you guys are just stepping around like what's good to say, what's not to say without actually saying it.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
Hopefully,
Speaking of time to be alive, I don't usually sound this foreboding and sexy. I am sick. And I didn't really want to do this today, but something in my head, the little David Goggins running in my head, who's
who's
very
getting
quiet when it comes to workouts and like my food discipline, got really loud when Matt texted me. He texted me at like I think 4 or 5, and I saw your text, and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap, and I'm gonna wait and see what I feel like after my nap to figure it out.
yeah.
And then I said no, and then I was just like, fuck, because I close tomorrow, and then Friday, I don't know what I'm doing. I might be doing something. I don't know. So I was like, let's just do it now, get it out of the way,
Yeah.
and we'll all be good.
He was just like, who's gonna carry the boats? And it's gonna be me.
Yeah. And then Matt, while I was down, he decided to kick me because I had a little spelling oopsie daisy. Uh, do you remember? I don't
Oh
even remember
yeah,
how
yeah.
the
He said I'm
conversation.
gonna hop in the shower. He
No, that's
said
not what I
hooped in the
said.
shower.
I said I'm gonna hoop in the shower.
He was like, I didn't know you're balling out, dog. Like, what's up?
Dude, yeah. It was really nice. I don't know if you've ever done this, but like I took a rag in there with me and I just let it soak and then I put it on my face,
Yeah.
put it on my back, put it on my chest. And then I wasn't thinking, I just meant to put it on my lap. I put it directly on my balls. It was scorching hot, but it felt amazing to do afterwards. So even though I'm sure
Um,
that kills all the
all
sperm
all your
in
sperm.
the yeah.
You're gonna be like
But
Flash Gordon from Ted 2. Have you seen Ted 2?
yeah, I have seen Ted
Where he's
too.
just like they're asking for like a sperm donor. He's like, nope, I
Oh,
just
he's
got
like
one
I
sperm.
got one left. Yeah, I remember that.
That's gonna be you after fucking putting the hot towel on your nuts.
Yeah, I got big old nuts, so I think I'll be all right.
All right. So we both watched at least the main card for UFC 297.
Yeah,
And we watched the
you want
first.
to go into this? You want to go into this early?
Yeah, yeah. I figured we'll just
Well,
go into it.
I'll let you talk, and then after you're done with your whole your spiel, your analysis, then I will jump in. 'Cause
So
I'm
the
interested what you have to say as a
Alan
casual.
Evlov, um, wasn't okay. So that was a unanimous decision. I don't like. It wasn't like my favorite fight to watch because I was also watching. What was it? Detroit. No.
No, it was
49ers
49ers Packers.
Packers. Yeah. So like I'm watching the
Yeah.
Packers game and then going over to the fight. So I'm kind of like trying to remember what
Remind
which
me
one I
not
was.
to drink out of this, by the way.
Oh, are you spitting into it?
Oh yeah, I'm spitting into it. I got a drinking one and I got my spitting one.
um But I remember that one not being super exciting. Um,
You can kind of use that to sum up the whole
yeah,
pay-per-view
it's
card.
gonna be something
I was
else.
wrong a lot last episode about my predictions and stuff like that. What I was not wrong was I said, do not buy this pay-per-view. I said,
Yeah,
go to B-Dubs. I don't
and that's
encourage
yeah,
pirating, but I mean, yeah.
yeah.
I think I spent $8 on we
We
split.
split
We had like
mozzarella
two
sticks,
appetizers,
fries, pretzel
pretzel
nuts,
bites. Yeah.
cheese curds, and I got
And
Red
I
Bulls
spend yeah,
because
I
yeah,
spend $8, which is better than the 70, or if I'm splitting it with somebody,
yeah,
it's usually your $20 to $30, depending
yeah,
on how many people want to go in on it. So I felt pretty good about not
yeah,
spending that. And I mean, um, you have a picture you can post because we were doing something before then, so we were pretty gussied up
yeah. We were
before.
all dressed up. Fuck, I need to actually start posting again. Um, but
It
yeah,
was
we
funny.
we
We were
were gusted
walking
up. We were
in.
at a formal event for our high school. All dressed up. I ended up winning a bet. It was very debated,
Yeah, controversial is a mild
controversial.
way to say it. But I mean, we went to my little brother's high
Yep.
school, his senior military ball, which we were both alums of that high school and of the
We didn't
RTC
stand up at
program.
all for the when they called for
No, we did not.
alumni. We're
Yeah,
just like,
they do like, and we were like, no,
I'm not
sir.
a
Because it
special
was
guest.
like, well, like, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of it because no one's going to care. But let's just say it was a little underwhelming to
Yeah,
what I was used to.
it's not like when we were
Uh,
in high school.
yeah, and we were running bets on who other alumni we would
Yep.
see there. Yeah, did a little parlay on that
Yep.
between me and Matt, and we tied. Which, ooh, man,
Yeah.
because you're because we did three names,
Yep.
and Matt had a confirmed that was there, and mine that was like on the list,
Yeah. But
like
didn't show
showed
up.
up
Like she
until
showed up
like
late.
pretty late, and
Yeah.
I'm glad because imagine if we weren't in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say we ever would have saw her? So I
Yeah.
could have lost.
Yeah.
So that was fucking fate right there. Thank you, God.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um,
And then we
that's what
also
we.
there's a guest
Oh God.
speaker, and then we ran a
Yeah.
bet on how long the guest speaker was going to be. And
Which I
I've
was
always gone
misled. I was told he was pretty. I was told he was a
long-winded.
long-winded guy.
Yeah,
Which not. In his speech, man, his speech was so whack.
it was so whack. But yeah,
Yeah.
whenever I've done bets like this, I've always gone with who's the closest, and that was my understanding on how it was going to be handled. Otherwise, I would not have said 20.
Now I am a Price is Right type of
Yeah.
fella, and like if you go over, you bust.
Now, if we need to standardize this if we're ever going to do this again,
I agree. We should standardize
we
it.
should.
Now here's the thing. You're like, oh, we should go again next year. I was like, why would we go again
Just for
next year?
this, just for this.
Just for the parlay?
Yeah, just for
I
the
think
parlays.
our wardrobe should get more and more eccentric.
Yeah,
Like next year we wear like we're just because a lot of the high schoolers were in like their Walmart
dude, I'll get
polos
a
and like
monocle. I'll get a monocle and
get
a
a
cane.
cane, twirl in it. I got the
Yeah,
big old hat.
yeah. I'll get the Abraham Lincoln
Either
cap.
that or I'll do what the South Park people did. I'll wear like a gussy up dress and I'm just like your date. I'm holding on to your arm.
You're wearing a full ball gown fucking dress.
I'm the belle of the ball.
All right, but yeah, so we're all gussied up at beat ups, and yeah, it was not the most
Well,
exciting thing.
we got heckled at as we're walking in.
Yeah,
So we park and we're walking in, and there's a dude who also just parked. He's an older
yeah,
fella, and he's like he keeps looking at us,
yeah.
like he keeps like
You guys just come from a wedding.
yeah, and yeah, that's what he said
You had
to
a
us. He
pretty
goes,
good
y'all just.
retort right away too. It's like,
I was
yeah,
like, yeah, ours. And then he was like, yeah, he looks a lot better than you do. I was like, this
this
motherfucker.
piece of shit.
Like I
And
ran
then
into him at the bathroom and he kept nodding at me. I was like, dude, we don't need to make this a
we
thing.
don't
You
need.
know, we could just left this in the parking lot. We don't need to keep talking.
It was a funny conversation. We're gonna talk about it for a week, laugh about it, and then forget about it.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Yeah,
this is probably the last time I'll talk about it, to be honest with you.
yeah. Going to the next one. It was a split decision. Curtis versus
It's Curtis.
Baralt.
Yep.
Baralt.
Mark Andre. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. It was a split decision going towards Curtis. That one was a little bit better of a fight. I honestly think it was the second to best fight of the night, if I'm being
It was
honest.
more action packed. Like
Yeah,
there's no like I mean they
yeah,
actually stood in front of each other and threw punches.
yeah.
So
It was a
yeah,
little bit more action packed, and I enjoyed it a lot more. Um,
I think when the Canadian because we talked about it. Oh, we talked about it on the stream,
yeah,
but like so there was 9 Canadian fighters who fought.
6.
No, there was 9.
That was what it was in the meme. Was like 6 or 7.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, so there
Oh, okay.
was the males went 0 and
Oh, okay.
7. The 2 women that fought both won.
Okay. But yeah,
So there's a total of 9.
yeah,
There's yeah, you're right. There was 7 males and they all lost and
yeah,
then the 2 women's won, which someone was like, "Oh, if this was the other way around, like this wouldn't even be a stat." It's like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's pretty incredible that out of 7 fighters, not a single one of
One of
them
them.
won in
No,
their home
and
country.
6 of them were
Like
favorites.
yeah, 6 of them were favorites out of the 7. Like that is a pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Which
It.
leads us into the Mike Malott and
Yep. Magani,
Neil Magny.
Magny. Oh,
Magny, yeah.
dude, I cannot read today. But Neil Magny versus Malott,
You're
which
doing pretty
was
good though.
it was a KO
Like a lot of UFC, a lot of oh dude, I mean, as we were
or a
watching, I was
KO
like, all
slash
right, first 2
TKO.
rounds, yeah, first 2 rounds. Well, I
It
think
really looked
fucking
like
Mike Malott,
it really was
yeah,
looking
Mike
like
Malott.
Malott was gonna win because he was getting the good takedowns controls. He was getting a lot of the big heavy punches in, and then Magny fucking just knocked his
This
ass
is
out.
old crafty vet shit. He didn't really
Yeah,
knock his ass out.
but yeah, well
He
for the
just took him
night,
down and then yeah, I guess for the night
yeah.
standards, yeah, he did knock his ass out if you want to compare it to the
Yeah.
rest of the night. Because the next fight, I believe, is the co-main.
Pennington,
Yeah, Raquel Pennington and
Silva,
Bruno Silva. Yeah.
which was not at all like,
Well, I mean, no disrespect. There's a lot of great women fighters, but these two are not the most exciting of that
no,
division.
yeah.
You know, um, there's Joanna Pena, and then there's some.
I think
Is it Aaron Blanchfield?
I think one of
No,
the
Aaron
last
Blanchfield. I
fights
don't know.
I watched with you was also a Pennington fight, and where she won the belt.
No,
Or it was either.
because she just won the belt.
Well, then I remember watching Pennington before, and I remember her not being super exciting either. Then, it might have been a couple fights back, but yeah, it was. It was
You
not
know,
a.
it's interesting. The last time that she fought on a fight night that was headlined by Sean Strickland, and I mean, she's on an impressive run. She's won. Well, shit, I can't even fucking read it, but her last 5 are all wins. Um, decision, split decision, decision, submission,
Yeah,
decision, which, uh, yeah, I mean, you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I usually, when I bet on women's fights, I usually put that shit to decision.
yeah,
Like, traditionally, like, but I mean, when women do fucking scrap and they knock each other out, man, people
yeah,
get hyped. Like when
yeah.
Rose knocked out Zhang Li Wei. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, that place was electric.
Ronda Rousey when she got fucking knocked out, or what?
Oh,
There's
by
a
Holly Holmes.
yeah.
Yeah, she got knocked out by Holly Holmes. That one was crazy too.
I remember that was a big one. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Then to the
Even though
main.
I wasn't watching UFC
Yeah,
by
me
then.
either. But I already knew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean Strickland ended up losing the belt to Duplessis. Um,
Dracus Duplessis. Or
in
Dracus. I think it's Dracus.
in a very controversial win. In the
I wouldn't call
splits.
it controversial. Like
Well,
honestly,
on the
like
judging.
I want to go back and watch it. I'm very interested to go back and watch it. And but I mean, I and most other people, I think you're included in this.
Yep.
That was a thick one. Um,
Have Strickland
had
winning
Sean winning. He
first and
had one
second.
and two, and then I had Duplessis winning 3 and 4,
Yep.
and then the fifth
Um,
round I gave it to Strickland.
Strickland. Yep.
Yeah.
Even then in the fifth
The
round, like it was a pretty close round, all like through and through on the fifth.
most of the rounds, other than round one, they were all pretty close and pretty
Yeah.
competitive.
Oh yeah.
Um, except for like round two, like I don't get a ton of the arguments where people said that he or Drake has won round two. I remember we were watching it at B
Yeah,
Dubs and they kept showing
the little
the
tweets or the
little,
X.
yeah, yeah, the X, and it's like, oh, I have it 1919 going into round three, and we were all looking at each other
I'm
like,
like, what?
who the fuck would give him round two? I don't
Yeah.
understand. Because from what I saw, I mean, he just kept getting pieced up by the jab, and
Yep.
then he had one takedown that led to nowhere.
Yeah. It led
I mean,
to.
because there is a new criteria with the rules where like damage and like if you guys want to look at the damage that Sean Strickland got that big massive cut, it came from
Mm-hmm.
a headbutt, so
Yeah.
it's not a legal blow, and that
Mm-hmm.
is illegal. Like he threw it on purpose, but it
Yeah.
was just clash of heads. That shit
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah. And
So
even Strickland had said like, it wasn't an intentional headbutt, but it happened, and then he just
it
couldn't
happens,
see it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think
Um,
I think Strickland got robbed of it. But there's really nothing, and he even said it himself. Like, there's really nothing you can do. You're gonna win some. You're gonna lose some. He's gonna get
yeah.
back in the ring and fight.
I think they need to run it back. I think that's just
Oh
what's
yeah.
fair. I mean, I know that Bell's just been switching hands, and I mean that was his first defense, and he did lose it. So traditionally they don't usually give people a shot like that,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I
They
think
just want
Dana
shit
might.
like that.
I think Dana might have him run it back.
I don't know. At the press conference, he said he's like, I'm not looking for the immediate rematch.
Well, yeah, not immediately, but in the future, I can see it happening.
Maybe. I mean, they might run it back, but they probably won't be. But they both won't be fighting for the belt
Yeah.
by that chance, right? Wager, I guess. But do you want to go into next week's, or I guess this week's?
Yes, I can. Let me click back. UFC Fight Night. On February
Yeah,
3rd.
you got this one. No, go ahead. Read the names.
All right. I'm just gonna read off the main card. Urbinia versus Radic. Pretty close.
I really don't know about either one of these fighters, but
Um,
this next one
Kriazev
should be pretty funny.
versus Murdov. Mur.
Hey, you're getting it.
Okay. Um, yes, and Silva.
Yeah,
um,
sound it out. Except for remember that J is going to
Arujo.
be an H. All
Arujo.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brown versus Salikov.
Yep.
Moicano
Yep. There you go. Yep.
versus
Moicano.
Dober.
Yep. Money
Um,
Moicano. Yep. Drew Dober is from Omaha.
Omaha boy, let's go. He's
Omaha
he's gonna
boy.
win it all.
Dude, he
Um,
has some hilarious memes because like whenever he fights like someone that's not uh black, he usually does pretty bad. But then they show highlights of him fighting black people. Dude, he's fighting like they owe him money. It is so fucking funny.
uh, Dolides, Dolides,
You got it. Yeah, that's pretty
Imov.
close. Imabov. Yep.
Okay, no, I was
Imabov.
pretty good on my.
There's a couple like notable fighters on the prelims, like Molly McCann is coming back.
Yeah, I saw that name and I was like, hey, I recognize that one.
Yeah, Blake Builder, Luna Carolina, excuse me. She fought. Who the fuck did she fight recently? Anyway, but I don't know. This might be one of those ones where
I might actually try and
I'm
watch these
yeah I'm gonna
fights
tune it in.
since I have ESPN Plus. I'm gonna tune
Yeah,
in
I
and
I
watch
encourage
them.
you. I mean, that's it's gonna be usually like when it's like fight nights that you don't really know. Like Randy Brown's a bad man, so
Mm-hmm.
he's probably gonna go in there, especially against
A
what's his
Russian,
name? Fucking
Salikov.
yeah, yeah, and that guy's pretty good too. But he's one of those cats. Like, let me just pull up his record real quick.
Salikov is 19-4.
Yep,
Brown is 17-5.
yeah,
If
but
I'm reading this correctly, it looks like Brown is the favorite in a heavy favorite.
I haven't read that yet,
Well, I'm
but
just looking at like the bets. I always
so
know whenever it's the minus, that's the favorite.
minus is the heavy. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Even though I have no
So
understanding of what it is.
So, you'd have to ask Joe to break it down to you because I don't think I could do it correctly.
Yeah,
But
me neither.
Muslim is two out of his last, or he's lost two out of his last five. So, But I mean, the welterweights that he's fighting, he fought the Leech, who's pretty good. Oh,
Hmm.
what the fuck's my computer doing? But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good fight.
Yeah. So it's gonna be one that's worth watching at least.
Yeah, I think so.
And this isn't UFC. UFC 298 is on February 17th. So a couple weeks from now, and then there's a fight night coming up February 10th, which is the day I move back. So
Yeah,
it'll be a great way to
kick
I
off
don't
the
know,
new
kind of
year.
celebrate. Yeah, kick it off, and then we
Here's
got the Super Bowl
my
the
kick
next
of New
day.
Year's. Yeah, yeah. I requested off the Super Bowl, but so what Mom wants to do? I mean, you're clearly invited. I have
Yeah.
to pass it through her, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But it's Brian's birthday is pretty close to then,
Oh, that's
so
pretty
he
cool.
wants to do a Super Bowl party combined with um the birthday.
Hey, intern Aaron.
Hello, Eric.
Um,
Before you looked like Matt Champ. Matt
Iowa
Champ.
State is currently playing Kansas State in basketball right now. So if you're watching this on YouTube, can't really watch it. But number 23 Iowa State is going up against Kansas State. It's currently
You can
25-16.
just riff for a little bit. I've been drinking a lot of water.
No, you're good. Going into college basketball a little bit. Um, for the top 25. I'm gonna go into the news for this because I have kind of failed on looking for anything big. Um, Kansas is number one. Oh, Kansas is number one as usual. So Kansas, KU, the Jayhawks, have consistently always been a great team when it comes to basketball. Football, they're kind of wishy washy, all around. Um, if anybody pays attention to basketball at all, yeah, they're the favorites right now, even though they're number 7. Um, in the AP polls, but they're usually a heavy favorite going into March Madness, which I'm hoping to be able to actually catch some March Madness games and get Matt to watch them with me so we could talk a little bit about basketball uh, and make things a little bit more interesting. Standings. I'll go down to the Big 12 and just kind of look. That's what I care about. So Oklahoma State is 0-6 in conference, and they're 8-11 overall. Uh, Jesus fuck, the Big 12's got a lot of ranked teams. They got BYU at 21, Oklahoma Sooners at 11, Iowa State at 14, at 23, Baylor Bears at 15, Jayhawks at 7, and the Houston Cougars at 4, and Texas Tech as number 20.
So I know it's a printer behind you, but when I look really fast at you and I look away, I swear to God, I would swear on my mama that that is a to-go container right behind you. I just keep looking at it. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
what's in there? Like, and then I'm like, oh, it's a fucking Epson printer.
All right. So, big news for football that came out. Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. He's left Michigan and now has gone to the LA Chargers.
What did I miss, by the way?
I just kind of talked about basketball.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Um, yeah, Jim Harbaugh is going to the Chargers. I don't. I hope that's a good like place for him to go. It's gonna be some years. Like if I'm being honest, like they have
Well, he has a
weapons.
5 year. He's a 5 year contract.
Yeah. So if he doesn't get them to the playoffs in 5 years, you might see him go back to college.
Well, I mean, especially if you look at like his division. I mean, I don't know what this offseason is gonna look like, but the Raiders and the Broncos both like having huge issues. In the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm kind of done talking shit on Kansas City. You know, they keep proving me wrong. Um, but I mean,
I'm gonna keep on talking shit.
yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, I keep getting humbled, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
keep my mouth shut.
Um. Oh, we kind of skipped over this, But Manny Pacquiao in a fight, I don't know what country it was in, but he announced that they're going to be a
I think it was
rematch
Japan,
in Japan.
either
Um,
Japan or the Philippines, or
yeah. But Manny Pacquiao announced that there's going to be another boxing or a rematch of Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao, which I think is going to be interesting because they're a lot older now than when
you
they
know
were.
what that tells me?
They just want money.
Bring. Hello. Oh, hey, Pacquiao, what's going on? Yeah, I could use some money. Ooh, Japan? All right. Yeah. How much? Oh, sign me up.
Bet
Click.
and then hang up. Yeah. So they're
Next year is an exhibition. Click.
they're definitely. It's going to be a good fight to watch though. Still, because they've always been electric
Well,
and,
fucking
and
the
fun
thing
to
is
watch.
Floyd has been active and he still fights, still exhibitions. And
Yeah.
I mean, he still looks so crisp and clean.
Hmm.
I'm very curious on what, because I don't think Pacquiao, I think he's just been doing, because isn't he like a governor or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. He hasn't been doing a lot of fighting. Um,
No, so I'm curious on. I'm sure he's been training and staying in shape
yeah.
and all this and
He's
that,
looking
but
in good in shape too.
yeah,
Um, Ohio State Bill O'Brien. Um, they hired on Bill O'Brien to pick him up as their head coach, which could potentially be the chance that they need um, to take him to a natty next year. Now that Nick Saban's gone, Jim Harbaugh's gone, like potentially Ohio State could make a good run to the natty this upcoming year because they got a lot of weapons
I
coming to
think
them.
I think you're underestimating Nebraska corn. Never mind. I'm just fucking around.
No, like Nebraska could make it around and
I but I don't think they can go to the. I don't think they can go to the
to
fucking.
the natty. No, they definitely
I
could
don't
make
think
it
so.
into the Big Ten championship. Like they have a
Yeah,
chance.
that's what I'm. I would love to just have a bowl game, bro. Let's just
Yeah.
start with a bowl game.
Okay. Um,
Let me have the Pop Tart Bowl, bro. Please let me have the Pop Tart Bowl.
babe, you don't understand about the Northrop Coming Bowl at 3
Please.
a.m. Um, so this was a take that I saw. Kirk Cousins potentially going to Pittsburgh to take over as the starting quarterback because he is at the end of his contract, and if Minnesota doesn't want to re-up him, and isn't he a free agent?
He should be. Yeah.
If he's if it's a free agent, that's a good pickup
Okay.
for the Steelers. Um,
Is that and I mean he's coming off of like an injured year.
mhm,
I mean, he hasn't really done. Dude, I've been watching that quarterback show
yeah,
and he's on it. He's like one of three. It's him, Marcus Mariota, which
mhm,
who the fuck wanted Marcus Mariota? It's a
no,
fucking and then Patrick Mahomes, which makes sense. I'm assuming they
yeah,
spend most of their money on Marcus Mariota, a little or excuse me, most of their money on Patrick Mahomes,
yeah.
a little bit less than that on Kirk Cousins, and then they only had like pocket change. And they're like, hey Marcus.
Hey, you want $1,000 to shoot? Here you
He's
go.
like, I do it for free. Let me get my name. Um, but so they're showing Kirk Cousins his house, and he has this
Mhm,
like trophy room,
yeah,
and he's like, oh, when the installers finished it, they put in this one shelf, and it's like an empty shelf. He goes, yeah, that's for the start of the collection of the Lombardis, and I was like, yikes,
Okay. Sure thing there, bud.
bold, very very bold.
Yeah.
Hey man, I mean, I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying like,
With Minnesota, maybe not so much. Staying with the Steelers, and this is also kind of a potential, but Cliff Kingsbury is meeting with the Steelers organization to take over as head offensive coordinator. Which
Cliff was pretty good whenever before Kyler Murray got all weird with Call of Duty.
yeah, yeah,
You like how I didn't cover that one up? I didn't cover that up in the
yeah. You
slightest.
just been like,
Dude, that one hurt coming up because I have a cough drop, so I'm trying to like,
yeah,
when you have to like kind of hold it in because
yeah.
it also comes from your mouth, so I would hate to spit out this cough drop,
It's
and
just
I've
right
been
there on
holding
the
the
fucking
spare
camera.
one. in my hand, and Jules has been like putting her nose to it, like
This is a
I'm like,
treat.
dude, back up, back up, bitch.
Um, yeah. So Kingsbury, and that was when Arizona was actually doing pretty good. Like they were a team to be reckoned with. They weren't
Yeah, our
someone to
division
scoff
overall
at.
is pretty good. Yeah,
Um, well, in the last couple of years, they've kind of
downhill
teetered
slide.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple things that could be coming to Pittsburgh to help, get them back to that caliber that they used to be. Same with we saw something about Russell Wilson potentially, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen.
I just don't know where Russ would go.
Yeah, I really don't know where
Like,
he's going to
who's
go.
gonna want to trade for that?
Yeah,
But I mean, he's too good to fucking just let him sit on the bench.
yeah.
Do you
It's
think
like
he maybe? Do you think maybe he goes back to Seattle?
he could go down to Seattle. He could go to Atlanta because they need a quarterback. Maybe the Saints.
Where all careers die,
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Atlanta, the Saints.
You go to the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots. Patriots wouldn't be the worst place either.
Mm. Especially having like a culture change.
Maybe the
Bill Belichick
Giants.
thing. Then. No, because Daniel Jones, he's still there, and I think they want to ride with him.
I
I think
don't
they
know if
want
I
to
want to
give
ride with
Daniel
him.
Jones one more year.
Brian Callahan is going to be taken over as the head coach for the Titans, which, I'm going to be honest with you, don't know who the fuck Brian Callahan is. If that
He's
says
offensive
anything,
coordinators for the Bengals.
not a bad
I only
pick.
know because but I say he was just in the Super Bowl last year, and I
Yeah.
mean they're kind of heating up
So
before Joe Burr got injured,
if Derrick Henry
and
leaves, which is what a lot of the rumors are going,
which like who's gonna pick up Derrick Henry? Oh my god, dude,
yeah,
that's crazy.
like whoever Derrick Henry goes to, they're a team to be reckoned with. Unless they
Jules,
go to
what are you
like
doing,
a
girl?
complete shit ass team like the Raiders. Oh, that's another team that could potentially take Russell. Not the
They
Raiders.
have they have a is it Jacoby Jones as a running back there?
Yeah, they do.
I don't think they'll pick up Derrick.
Well, I mean, they could also, have both of them go.
That would be such a waste. Dude, Jacoby Jones is a starter. I think he would hate that. He's like, oh, no, no, no. I want to be a fucking starter, bro.
Yeah.
This is
Um,
not like a Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery situation.
the Raiders hire on Antonio Pierce for their head
I
coach.
believe that wasn't that the like interim?
I think it was the interim, so I think that's a good um keeping him there because it seemed like the fans really liked him and so did the team.
Much. How much for this shot?
I couldn't do it.
Really?
No.
Nice warm loogie sliding down.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
It's
Uh
probably more lukewarm now. Been sitting out for a minute.
all right. Stop.
Um,
All right. So the Ravens played the Texans in the divisional round. We both were watching a little bit of it before getting all spoofed up.
yeah.
Um
Which I mean, it started. It was super
it
close
was
until it wasn't.
yeah. Pretty much after the second quarter, it wasn't close.
Yeah.
Because we left at halftime and then we checked into the game while we were there and we're like, huh. Oh wow.
Yeah, I think yeah, we were like, yeah, not surprised.
Yeah. But also just like the part that we watched, maybe we were the reason why the game went to shit. Um just us not watching it.
Oh, well, I mean,
One of those
also we
like
were
superstitious.
exhausted.
Yeah.
I was fucking exhausted.
Um but yeah, it was 34-10. It was close up until halftime and then it was all Ravens going after the half. Um Packers 49ers, which was the other game that we were watching. That game was huge. That was a great game to watch along with the fights. 24-21. Jordan
What are
Love
you doing?
started going down the field. last
Well,
second.
Brock Purdy had a rough time in the rain, dude.
Yeah. Um, he had a lot of off target throws throughout the game,
Is it bedtime?
but um, yeah, even Jordan Love had some off target throws and was just kind of not looking that
Oh,
hot either.
especially towards the end. And
Yeah.
then didn't they also have like a missed field goal?
Yeah.
Like we had two missed field goals that kind of sealed games.
Yeah. Um, we'll get into that for the other one. Um, yeah, the game ended with an interception by Jordan Love, which was kind of like a
Not by Jordan Love, but from Jordan
yeah
Love.
from Jordan Love. Which we were watching, and we're like, why would you even make that throw? Like, why would you even try and attempt it? I get it, it's third down, but like, still, like, you can go for it on fourth down, dog. Like, you don't have to fucking throw away the ball like that. Going into the Lions Bucks. Lions came away 31-23, which I was right on my bet that it was going to be a shootout. That
Yeah,
it
I
was
was.
going to be over
I
50
mean, I'm glad we
points.
didn't. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't. Especially like I don't know if you saw it at halftime. I believe they were like 10-10.
Yeah, they were
I was
10-10.
like, all right, looking pretty good. And
Yeah.
then fucking first going, I was like, these motherfuckers.
But yeah, Jared Goff came
I think they
away.
were like
Is
54, and I was like, these motherfuckers.
the caption that says on the sideline, Jared Goff is good enough for Detroit, as his coach recently reminded him. Um, and then the Chiefs Bills game, which could have easily been tied up if it had not been for Tyler Bass.
Well, apparently the wind was super bad.
Yeah, but he missed a game time field goal that the Bills stormed down the field to get him in position. That would have fucking put him in the overtime. But in the DeMar Hamlin curse, they lost by 3 again.
Speaking of DeMar Hamlin, that fucking fake punt thing they did with him.
Yeah,
What the fuck was that call?
I
Like it kind of sort of worked out because they ended up having a touchback because was it Nicole Hardman fumbled in the end zone?
mm-hmm.
I believe that was that
Yeah,
drive. But I was just sitting there like watching, I'm like, why the fuck would you go over a punt or a fake punt here?
yeah. There was no rhyme or reason to fucking try and do that shit, especially
Especially
with
with like
the
DeMar
dude,
Hamlin.
especially with the dude who was
Like, are you just
dead last year.
trying to just make him a, like another hero situation?
Yeah, like trying to fucking prove that he should be comeback player of the year.
Which is dumb.
It's extremely dumb. But then upcoming this weekend, we got the Chiefs versus Ravens for the AFC Championship, which is on Sunday. And you have the Lions versus 49ers coming on afterwards, which the NFC Championship game has been kind of torn because I want to see Brock Purdy go to the Super Bowl,
On the Lions to
but
win.
I also want the
And
Lions to win.
I think the Lions. I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be a close game.
It is going to be a close game.
I think the Lions need to like tune up like the bigger plays because that's what like Mike Evans kept going crazy, and then
Mm-hmm.
with the Rams, um, yeah, I think the defense just needs to kind of hone up a little bit of like the bigger plays.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if because Debo is questionable, I believe. So if they get Debo back because he's got his shoulder
Yeah.
stuff. So
But
um, that and CMC and
CMC
Brandon
is going to be
Ayuk and George Kittle.
no one's been able to stop CMC. Like
Yeah.
that's been a consistent thing throughout the year. CMC's just been running all over the place. But yeah, I'd like to see the Lions win, but I wouldn't be mad if the 49ers won as well. That's my take on it. Now, for the Chiefs Ravens game, I think we're both in agreement that we want the Ravens to win.
You were incorrect.
Oh, you want the Chiefs to win?
There's a part of me that doesn't want the fucking like NFL scripted that stupid logo that's being
Yeah.
shown, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be the four." And that's why I want the Lions and I want the Chiefs. And I mean, like I've been kind of shitting on the Chiefs all year, and I mean, especially like during the playoffs, they've been getting it done.
They
So
have been getting it done. I'm not gonna
I think it could
discredit him
be
on
a
that.
touchdown.
They've been getting it done, but I would I'd much rather see the Ravens win over the Chiefs.
No, I don't think it's a bad pick either.
No. I mean, honestly, both these games, like we said last week, are going to be great games to watch. And I'm definitely going to be tuning into them and watching them since they're a little bit later in the afternoon. And I could be able to get all my chores done by the time the games come on. Now, has there been anything announced for like the Pro Bowl game? Like if they're going to be doing like
They have announced some stuff. Like, it's gonna be the 7-on-7. They're not doing like the actual Pro Bowl game.
they're are they doing that flag football stuff?
Yeah,
No, that's remember when like
I
the Pro
remember.
Bowl used to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It sucks that like they got rid of all the like when it was like the strongest man contest with like
Mm,
the when they had to lift and like the fastest man. I think they're bringing back some of those, and I like
yeah,
some of the like gauntlet games they do where it's like the NFC versus the AFC, and they have
yeah,
like the different challenges they have to
and
do.
like the quarterbacks hitting
The,
the precision targets out
yeah,
far.
that one's pretty cool. The dodgeball one, like, nah.
That one's
Flag
just kind of like
football,
it's fun,
nah.
but like it's not football. It's not what we're tuning. Like the players get to have
Yeah,
fun. I love that for the players. I also understand
it's
like
safer.
yeah, and I also understand like going 7-on-7 though. Like it's the end of the season. You don't want to see these guys hurt. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, playing any sort of uh sport can lead to potential injury, but it's not as damaging as going into it. And like I think they're doing this so that everybody can play because whoever is going to the Super Bowl, um, their players aren't able to be into the playoff or into the Pro Bowl.
I don't think they're gonna be able to do the Pro Bowl too.
Yeah. Well, I think I think they're still able to go now since it's not really like
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Isn't it like if it's not the same week, like isn't it like the week after? So they're like training and training and
Yeah, it's right after the conference championship, in between the conference championship and the Super Bowl.
so I
Um,
can't imagine that the coach is like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, have fun."
yeah, I don't know, but the Pro Bowl isn't was it like what it used to be. Um, so you were predicting a Chiefs Lions Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's kind of I like a good Midwest styled matchup.
I wouldn't be
Battle of
mad
the
about
Coast.
it. I want to be
Yeah, I
mad
mean you're
about
doing
that.
like Battle of the Coast.
Yeah.
Um, so I like a good Midwestern one.
Um, I'd like to see Ravens Lions. Um,
Uh,
More than anything, I think Detroit needs it. They've been fucking wanting a Super Bowl for fucking years since Barry.
they've never had a Super Bowl, so
Yeah, it's just like they've been
they're the
wanting
only
it.
team that does not have a Super Bowl that could possibly win it this year.
So I kind of want to see Detroit make it to the Super Bowl. I think it'd be good for the city and for the franchise. It'd be very promising going forward because, like we said, like Dan Campbell, like he had a lot to prove. Everybody was shitting on him a couple years back, and then he fucking took him very far last year. Has taken him even farther this year. They're only on an upward trajectory right now. I don't know what your take is on that.
Sorry, Jules is being a little naughty girl right
Oh,
now. So Uncle Eric had to put him or put her in the crate.
yeah.
Which I mean, it might just be early bedtime for her. She can't act her age. I mean, it's pretty close.
Actor age, he's a fucking puppy, dude.
Yeah, I know. But you gotta train him right, man.
Um. Oh, this is
I'm
actually
not
kind of
beating my dog
this is kind
yet.
of a big one. Joel Embiid, um, has now joined, uh, a very select few people with scoring, 70 points, in a game. He was seven.
Didn't he take the record? Like, didn't he take it from Wilt Chamberlain? Like, isn't he like the now
Wilt
like
Chamberlain.
all time?
Wilt Chamberlain
I
has a
thought that's
game.
all.
He scored 101, I think, in a game.
He
Um,
scored 101 points in a game.
yes.
We look that up. Gotta look it up. But what would I look up? NBA
Um,
um most points
in a game.
in a game. Oh yeah, 100 points.
Oh, he had 100.
Damn. That was
All
in
right,
March
so
2nd, 1962. The next closest one is Kobe Bryant at 81
yep.
points.
He did that in
Yeah.
January 22nd, 2006. Wilt Chamberlain,
And Wilt,
78. Yeah. Um,
then Wilt again after David Thompson. So yeah, a lot of Wilts.
yep. Wilt Chamberlain really kind of took over the NBA in 1962. Um, yeah, Joel Embiid now has 70. Um, but I think he has the most points in his team's franchise. That's what it is.
Ah, okay.
It was 70. The closest one was fucking like 57 or something like that.
Damn. All right.
Um, yeah, in Philadelphia's history.
I guess they were the Warriors.
Someone in this room stole.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm trying to go to the fucking 76ers. But yeah, like Joel Embiid, he's averaging 36 points a game, which is fucking huge. And he's also a center too. You normally don't see centers scoring that much when it
Mhm.
comes in basketball. They're usually not leading from the front, if that makes sense. But the whole offense is being funneled through him. Because he's a great player all around. He's averaging 1.9 blocks a game, so pretty much 2 blocks a game with 11 rebounds. And you don't know much about basketball, which I was
Not even a little.
that was one thing. Like when I'm moving back, like we can start watching like NHL, MLB, NBA, college basketball. Is there anything really big going on with the NHL?
Um, yeah, I mean, I haven't been really paying attention to be honest. I get the ESPN notifications.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues won last night.
Yeah.
It was like a back and forth game against Calvary. But I have not been really super invested to be
Okay.
honest with you.
I can kind of go over the conference standings right now, just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
top five for each. Boston Bruins are leading the Eastern with the Florida Panthers coming in second. The New York Rangers, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Philadelphia Flyers are the top five right now for the Eastern Conference. Which, oh wow, the Penguins are doing ass. Vancouver Canucks are leading the Western Conference with the Winnipeg Jets, Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, and the Vegas Golden Knights. Which the Golden Knights have been a team everybody knows about since their creation, pretty much, if I'm correct, right? They went to the Stanley Cup um their first or second year, correct? Mr.
Who?
The
What?
Golden Knights.
Yeah, I think they won it their first year.
They won it their first year.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was a big thing. Um, going into that one. And then Colorado Avalanche. Living in Colorado for so long, like everybody fucking just talked about the Colorado Avalanche, and it kind of got annoying.
But they're doing pretty good with Nathan McKinney or Nathan McKinley,
Yeah.
something like that.
Um,
Oh boy,
are you not feeling the best?
nah, man, you're
You just
losing
want to
me
call this one?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it.
All right. Well,
They
this
rustle up some food now because my steak had mold on it, so I'm
this is
probably
a
gonna run to the stove.
little bit of a shorter one. But yeah. So again, I am Matty Light with Matty Heavy.
Hey,
This has been the MattCast. I'm trying to figure out a good way how to fucking sign this shit out.
we'll figure it out.
Make sure to fucking subscribe down below, like, comment, send us memes on the Instagram at _MattCast. Um, follow us on Twitter. I don't. Yeah,
All right,
we'll come up with something. All right.
I'll see you later, buddy.
Peace. Bye.
I'm going to the store.